Hare Krishna. So we are continuing with the Nectar of Instruction by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Shravanam Diaries podcast, and I'm your host, Sulalita Devidasi, page number 8. Alright. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Sharira vidya jao jo jandriyata hikal jive pile vishaya sagare tara madhya jivati lobamai sudurmati take jeta kathina samsare Krishna baradaya moy karibare jiva jai sva prasad annadilabai seyanamrita pao seyanamrita kao Radha Krishna guna gao premedaka Shri Chaitanya nitai. O Lord, quote, O Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths leading to death. Somehow or other, we have fallen into the ocean of material sense enjoyment, and of all the senses, the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world, but you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us. You have sent this nice prasadam to help us conquer the tongue. Therefore, let us take this prasadam to our full satisfaction and glorify your lordships, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, and in love call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda. Unquote. There are 6 kinds of rasas, tastes, and if one is agitated by any one of them, he becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are attracted to the eating of meat, fish, crabs, eggs, and other things produced by semen and blood and eaten in the form of dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, or milk products, but all for the satisfaction of the tongue's demands. Such eating for sense gratification, including the use of extra quantities of spices like chili and tamarind, is to be given up by Krishna-conscious persons. The use of pan, haritaki, betel nuts, various spices used in pan making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquor, coffee and tea is indulged in to fulfill illicit demands. If we can practice accepting only remnants of food offered to Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk products, and water are proper foods to offer to the Lord, as Lord Krishna himself prescribes. However, if one accepts prasadam only because of its palatable taste and thus eats too much, he also falls prey in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes, even while eating prasadam. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. If we accept the invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 6.227, it is stated, Jivara lalasaye iti utidhaya Shishnodara parayana Krishna nahi paya. Quote, that person who runs here and there seeking to gratify his palate and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals is unable to attain Krishna." Unquote. As stated before, the tongue, belly, and genitals are all situated in a straight line, and they fall in the same category. Lord Chaitanya has said, "Bhalana kaibe ara bhalana paribe." Do not dress luxuriously and do not eat delicious foodstuffs. Unquote. Chaitanya Charitamrita 6.236. Those who suffer from diseases of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of the belly, at least according to this analysis. When we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of the belly. As far as the urges of the genitals are concerned, there are two, proper and improper, or legal and illicit sex. When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to the rules and regulations of the Shastras and use his genitals for begetting nice children. This is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of the genitals, and he may not use any restraint. When one indulges in illicit sex life as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, talking about, or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, he is caught in the clutches of Maya. These instructions apply not only to householders, but also to Tyagis, or those who are in the renounced order of life. In his book Prema Vivarta, Chapter 7, Sri Jagadananda Pandit says, "Vairagi bhai gramya kathan na shunibe kane, gramya vartana kahibe yabe malibe ane, swapane ona kara bhai stri sambhasana, grihastri chadiya bhai asiya chavana, yadi chaha pranaya rakhita gaurange rasane, chota haridasera katha taki ye namane, bhalana kaibe ara bhalana paribe, hridaye te Radha Krishna sarvada sevibe." Quote, "My dear brother, you are in the renounced order of life and should not listen to talk about ordinary worldly things, nor should you talk about worldly things when you meet with others. Do not think of women even in dreams. You have accepted the renounced order of life with a vow that forbids you to associate with women. If you wish to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must always remember the incident of Chota Haridas and how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress in fine garments, but always remain humble and serve their lordships, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, in your heart of hearts." Unquote. The conclusion is that one who can control these 6 items, speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, is to be called a Swami or Goswami. Swami means master, and Goswami means master of the go or senses. When one accepts the renounced order of life, he automatically assumes the title of Swami. This does not mean that he is the master of his family, community, or society. he must be master of his senses. Unless one is master of his senses, he should not be called Goswami, but Godasa, servant of his senses. Following in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, all Swamis and Goswamis should fully engage in the transcendental, loving service of the Lord. As opposed to this, the Godasas engage in the service of the senses or in the service of the material world. They have no other engagement. Prahlada Maharaj has further described the Godasa and Adantago, which refers to one whose senses are not controlled. An Adantago cannot become a servant of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.30, Prahlada Maharaj has said, Matirna Krishnei paratah svatova mitho bhipadyeta griha vratanam adantago bhir vishatam tamishram punah punashcharvitacharvananam. Quote, for those who have decided to continue their existence in this material world for the gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna conscious, not by personal endeavor, by instruction from others, or by joint conferences. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed. Wow, what a fantastic finale. Really fantastic finale.